It's giving Cosmo and Wanda. Hey y'all, it is Anthony. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a beginner's eyeshadow look. Now, I used to love color back in the day. I still love color, and I feel like with the trajectory of makeup, everything is very nude and neutral. Nothing wrong with that, but let's bring back some color, y'all. So I wanted to do a beginner's eyeshadow look. I'm going to show y'all two different beginner looks. This eye is 3 colors and this eye is literally 2 colors. They are super easy to do, but it makes it seem like you put a lot of effort into it. So if you're interested in learning how to do either of these, and you can do these with any shades. You don't have to do these particular colors. You can do this with anything. If you're interested in learning how to do it, just keep on watching. But make sure you subscribe to my channel to stay updated on everything I post when I post it. And also hit that notification bell as well. But let's just go ahead and get into it. I'll be showing you guys using the Juvia's Place Culture palette. This is the first one. And it just looks like, this. And I'm choosing this eyeshadow palette because it has all of the same kind of shades in the vertical columns, because it makes it easy to choose the colors that you want to do. And some colors that you can mix and match are also right next to each other. So you could do these 2 columns there, or maybe these 2 columns here, or even this blue and purple there. So I really believe that this palette is an amazing beginner palette. So I'm going to do one look on this eye and then one look on the other eye. All right, since this is a beginner eyeshadow look, I want to explain the different brushes that I use. These are the main brushes that you will use as far as if you're doing what I do. You have the E40 tapered blending brush. This is by Sigma. And then you have the E40 Max, which is also the tapered blending brush. It's just bigger and really can take up more space. You have the diffused, well, for the Sigma one, it is the detailed diffused crease brush, and it just looks like this. And then I also have one from Real Techniques, and this is the defining crease brush. And then if you're going to put anything on your lid, I always just love to use a flat eyeshadow brush like this. As you can see, it's pretty thin, but it is very densely packed there. And this is by Shany Cosmetics. This is the E11 eyeshadow brush. I got this brush in a brush kit that I don't really use anymore, but I love this eyeshadow brush. This is the only one that I have left. But now that that's out of the way, we're going to go ahead and start out. I'm going to start out with the E40 tapered blending brush. You're going to start out with a color that is going to blend with any other color that you put on next. And it's going to go right above, I'm looking this way, y'all. And it's going to go right above your crease. So your crease is where your eyelid has the line. So remember that. And for this first shade, which is a transition shade or base shade, it's going to go right above that. So I'm going to go in with the Calibari shade there. I'm just going to dip it in. And then you're just going to tap off the excess. So you're going to go above that, right about there, if y'all can tell. It's right above the crease there. And then when you're putting it on, I just do swiping motions as well as circular motions, just to give it a good blend. And when you're blending, you don't want to blend down because it's going to make your eye look droopy. So you are going to blend out, going toward that tail of your brows. And again, I'm just doing circular motions as well as swiping motions. And we are going out. There we go. I think that is good. So we're going to go back in with this, because once you are adding your shadows, you're always going to go back in with this to make sure that it's a good blend out. I'm going to use the Real Techniques Define Crease Brush. Again, it just looks like this. Now, after your base shade, if you're going to use all of the same color, you're going to go in next with a darker shade that's going to go on your crease, and that's going to give your eye look some definition. So I'm going to go in with Kobo, which is this darker pink shade here. And this is how deep this pink is, y'all. And I'm just going to tap it off, because you don't want to go in so strong. If you put on too much, it's going to be hard to blend it with everything else. So now this shade is going to go into your crease. So again, if I'm looking straight on, y'all can see where the lines in my eyelids are. You're going to go in there, but just a tad above, just so you can see that it's deepening from that base shade that we used first. So I can see my lines there, and I'm just going to start here. And we're just going to actually be in that crease. And you can always go back and deepen it up. And the blending is the same as your base shade. You're going toward that brow bone, because if you go down, you're going to make your eye look droopy. But as y'all can see, that definitely gives it some definition there. And when you're blending, it will go other places, but that's fine. Like, don't get too boggled down on that it's spreading, because like I said, we're going to go back in with our E40 tapered blending brush by Sigma. We're going to go back in with Kobo. And where that line is that shows the separation between the two colors, we're going to go directly on that line and put Kobo so we can blend. So it can look like it is just seamlessly going from that lighter medium shade into this darker shade. And that's where we are so far. And this is literally the last shade that we need to use for this look. As you can see, I've used this pink quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with this, and then we're going to put that on our lid. And that's just a shimmery shade. This has quite a bit of glitter in it. But you can just use a regular shimmer as well. I usually use a regular shimmer. And again, that shade that I'm dipping into here is called Calabash. Yeah, Calabash. Let's tap it just a little bit. Okay. Now your lid, think of starting in the innermost corner of your eye and then going into your crease. So start here, and that very tip of the brush, let that go directly into the crease. And just bring it back. And then just dab. So wherever that crease is on your eye, again, directly push that in and then just go back. And that is the look, y'all. It's like super, super simple. And you can also take it to the back and even further into your entire lid. Kind of like that. I hope y'all can see that well. And I'm gonna go in with the E40 Max, going back into Calibari here. And I'm using the E40 Max because it takes up more space. And I'm just going to go in and, like I said, blend all of that back together just to make it all seamless. All right, y'all, so for the next look, it's even more simple than the one that I already did. It only includes 2 shades. So we're going to use a matte shade and a shimmer shade, okay? I'm going to use this green shade. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm going to use this green shade here. Now we're going to also use, this is the E38, also by Sigma. And I like this one because it's kind of like the E40, but it's not as big, so it won't really like go everywhere. So I'm going to go into this dark green shade here, which is Nibeli. I think that's how you pronounce it. So I'm just going to tap that here. Now you're going to start on the outside of your eye, and what you're going to do is you're just going to build it up. Yep, just build up the outside. But you're also making sure you are pulling the eyeshadow toward the middle of your eye, if that makes sense. Like start from going from your the end of your brow and just bringing it down. And you're also kind of making a triangle. Yep, bringing that forward a little bit. So it's looking like that, which is what we want. All right, so we're going to take that same shade or any other shade, and we're also going to bring that to the inner corner of your eye. The inner corner. And we're leaving that middle open. So we're starting at that inner corner and closing up that triangle. And make sure you get those edges to blend it. So this is how we're looking. I'm liking it, I'm liking it. Next, going back in with this same eyeshadow brush, flat eyeshadow brush. If you have a shimmer, go in with the shimmer. Or if you have a glitter, go in with the glitter. I'm liking this green shade here. And this is Tiv. You're just gonna pack Tiv on. Kind of like that. I like this better than the pink shimmer shade just because it's way more packed. You're just gonna put it in the middle. Literally, pack that sucker on, y'all. You're putting that in the middle. There's really no specific way to do it. You're just putting it there. And I also like to bring it up basically to the actual to where your actual shadow started. So I'm gonna go back in with that E38 diffuse crease. Just tap a little bit back into that green shade, and again blend out that edge. One thing that I do also do, I didn't want to include it in the like shadow look, but you can do this if you like. I also like to go in and put a highlighter on my brow bone. I'm not sure if this is a really big thing anymore, but my highlighter on my brow bone is always a neutral highlight. You can use your highlight from your highlighter palette or a highlighter that's similar to your shade that you have going on here. But I'm just going to use the Maybelline Master Chrome in the shade Molten Gold. I love this. It's so cute. And just, like I said, put that on the brow bone. And this is really subtle. This is why I like using a neutral. Just because I feel like if you highlight with something that is along the lines of the color eyeshadow that you used, it kind of makes it a bit much. And when you do that, you're just going to go back in with your base brushes that you used and just blend that out just so it won't be too harsh. All right, y'all, so I just went ahead and finished my face. And while I was finishing up my face, I did want to go ahead and say you can put eyeshadow like on your bottom lash line if you like. I've just never been that girl. I've never liked how it looked on me. But yeah, you guys, this is the final look. I'm clearly not going anywhere like this. 2 different color eyeshadows. Let me know if y'all try the look and see how it goes. I really want to see how it turns out for y'all. All right, y'all, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe and also hit that notification bell and like the video too, so my videos can get put out there. And I'll see y'all in my next one.